In vitro meat, schmeat, cultured meat. So have you heard about lab-grown meat? By the end of this year, Professor Mark Post and fellow Dutch researchers are planning a high-profile launch of their new lab-grown hamburger, complete with a celebrity chef to cook it up.
Lab-grown meat.
So how do you grow meat in a lab? Well, essentially, you take stem cells from an animal, then you bathe it in blood and synthetic fat, and then it grows and divides into muscle tissue. Muscle being the most popular part of meat that people eat. One of the earliest projects to grow meat was with NASA for making better long-term food for astronauts to go along with their hydroponic and aeroponic vegetables and such. That makes sense. But why are scientists doing this on Earth? Well, it's to solve problems, of course. Goal 1. Feed people.
Feed people.
Globally, more people are eating meat, so there's an increased demand for this really resource-intensive food. 2. Environmental impacts.
Environmental impacts.
In essence, it would reduce the impact of meat production. So, say all the farms that were there for meat production and all of the ranches could go back to growing naturally and supporting a natural ecosystem. 3. Using less animals.
Use less animals.
It would only take a few animals to feed millions of people for many, many years. Kind of like growing cells of a yogurt culture, hence cultured meat. Now you could potentially grow any kind of meat you'd like, turkey, fish, beef, whatever, and put it in any shape you like. In fact, the first edible version of in vitro meat was in 2000 when goldfish cells were made into a kind of fish fillet patty thing. Although meat from a petri dish doesn't sound all that appetizing, I wonder if people would really be able to tell the difference in all the processed forms of meat we currently eat. This idea has been around for a long time in science fiction, but in actual science, the idea of cultured meat comes from an area of biotechnology called tissue engineering. Tissue engineers are doing things like working to help people with muscular dystrophy. They are on the cutting edge. They're working on technology for growing transplant organs with the same technology used for lab-grown meat. So why aren't lab-grown meat and transplant organs all ready to go yet? Well, the answer is cost. You know that hamburger that's coming out later this year? $350,000 for that little patty. It's expected that the price is going to come down, but probably not until around 2050. So whether you find lab-grown meat appealing or not, you have to admit it's a pretty creative possible solution for lessening the impact of the resources used for meat production.